This is EA Sports PGA Tour coverage coming up next. Hello again and welcome, Rich Lerner, alongside my friend and colleague Frank Nobilo. We are along the Paracel Islands in the South China Sea. Frank, on a mission here today. What can you tell us about this course?
Well, one thing, Rich, we don't want to fatigue out there, so I've got my battle gear on. Interesting layout ahead. Plenty of water. The island's there to be negotiated, navigated, and you never know what just might pop up during the course of the game.
And partner, let me just, before we get started, salute you.
I salute you too, Rich. You ready?
Ready. Aim.
Fire.
This will require a good strike from 180 yards away.
Rich, these players aren't getting a reprieve with the wind right now.
Right from the start, the winds have been kicking pretty good.
Yeah, but at least it's presenting that challenge for the players that don't get every other day.
This will test the player. I mean, it's one thing to play with no wind in perfect conditions, but as we know, golf is a game of variables.
Yeah, and better strike will be rewarded today.
Frank, looks like he came over just a little bit.
Yeah, that one wasn't pretty, but it's still gonna get away with it.
This one looks like it's headed right for the middle of the dance floor, Frank.
Rather nice shot, I would say.
Frank made this hole just a little bit harder hitting it into the rough.
I would say a lot harder.
Been pretty good all day from this distance, just trying to take care of business. Beautiful stroke right there. Finds the bottom of the cup with ease.
Remember, out of the rough. Expect the ball to jump forward a little bit.
Shouldn't be a problem here, but not a formality either. Even par early on. So a tester from 4 feet. Steady as she goes, another par, and still even for the round. Frank, as we look at the second, your average hole with, say, a few bunkers, maybe even a pond, that would be a walk in the park compared to what I'm seeing right here.
Yeah, early surveillance said that guard shack just to the right of the green is actually not empty. So be a little aware of that when you cross the bridge. Green just 167 yards away, though, from the tee.
So on the putting surface and taking a good look now at this birdie putt here at the second. Appears to be a smart shot, Frank.
Yeah, no problem here. That's going to fly all the way.
That looked like a miss hit, Frank.
The lie was okay. It's a little surprising. Maybe wrong club.
This is a cross-country special. That was not a very good read right there. Frank, in golf, as we know, there's short grass and there's long grass. We all want to be in that short grass, but it doesn't always work out that way. So what's the most important element from the shot, from the rough?
You have to be a little bit more conservative first and foremost because you can't guarantee a perfect strike out of the long grass. So therefore you have to look around the greens, maybe short, to the right, to the left, and realize what's involved. And also just give yourself a slightly bigger target. Even par currently.
Good roll. Solid. That's a par. Locked in on the read and the speed. And takes care of business there.
Solid stroke.
Clean this up with a tap. Did the job right there. Oh my goodness, Frank, I have never seen anything quite like this. What in the world's going on?
That's a destroyer, and it's off course, and it's heading straight for the island.
Look out!
Well, we're going to have to send in backup now, Rich. We'll need a drone just to try and find out the exact yardage, because that ship now has blocked the view.
Talk about a tough defense setup around a green. This is unlike anything I've ever seen. Birdie try up next.
Not a good time to find the beach. This will test his skill. You can play this shot a couple of different ways. Open the club face, but you've got to be careful. Most players just close that club face and chop down like an axe.
That's a disappointment right there, Frank.
Yeah, green light special, really. Come up considerably short.
Second shot coming out of the rough here. That's how the best in the world play it, Frank.
Well, I'd say a little lucky that it went in, but it was always going to be close.
And setting up here in the rough. Now this putt from 23 feet.
Never looked like missing.
This would be one drop shot for her if she makes it. +1 in the early going. Frank surveying this hole. It appears as though your normal laser or rangefinder won't be good enough.
Well, we could always radio in the yardage there, but the radio tower, personally, I prefer sonar.
Good news is, Frank, you can see the golf ball. I guess the bad news is that's kind of an uncertain lie in that mulch.
Yeah, there's nothing really good about that. You'd rather it be in the rough.
Had the club face open just a bit at impact, and that one moves considerably to the right of the flagstick.
Now, this is not heading in the right direction.
No, it looks like it's going to be in the rough. And it looks like it's in the rough there, Frank.
It might not be as bad as it looks. Second shot.
Long putt here. This will require a good touch. She has something going now to 2 under. and getting ready for the putt. Good effort and good par putt. Okay, has it and stays at 1 over par. Frank, you and I have called golf from around the world. In fact, we had our broadcast position in the Grand Canyon in a hot air balloon. Tell you what, I'm glad we didn't pick that spot to broadcast from. That would have been lights out early.
It would have, but I don't even know if our observation tower that was situated in is going to be safe.
Always found this to be hard, Frank. You're seeding, you're just fired up, you just knocked one out of bounds, and you have to kind of put it back together.
Yeah, this one better find the fairway.
So playing the third shot right now after having gone OB. Just a little offline, so now, Frank, he's going to have to deal with a rough.
Well, it'll be interesting to see how strong he is.
Not looking good, Frank.
I think it's wet.
Well, time to play it like the great Seve Ballesteros. What a bunker player he was. Just trying to make clean contact from the rough. Solid play, heart of the green. Just wants to hit about an inch behind the ball. Edwin pops, Masterson now eyeing a par. Two under on the day. And now at 1 under for the round. And drops it in. Up to the 6th tee, Frank, and we're back against that destroyer. You need to take it over that small island.
Yeah, this is a little village, too. And remember the double greens at St. Andrews? Well, this is a split double green. It's shared in amongst the village. The green on the right, very, very small. So this a very lengthy par 3. It's going to be a case of really ready aim driver for some.
So the shot has landed, I'm not sure if it's on the mulch or in the mulch. Either way, it's in a little bit of trouble.
Yeah, he doesn't have mulch of a shot. You're left.
This is a good-looking shot. Frank landed it on the green.
It was never going to stop.
No, no chance. Not close, but not bad either. That one's about 25 feet away. Frank, how about that?
Well, can you believe that, too? I mean, could have hit the flag and bounced away. Instead, straight in. Amazing shot, and really deserves it.
Just needs to keep it steady here over the putt. This from 7 feet. Nothing wrong with that par putt. That takes him to 1 under on the day. Now on to the 7th, and Frank, this is, to say the least, a dangerous hole.
You've got to hit it across that retaining wall, or that protective barrier to stop the sand and the enemy coming in. Really, the green sets up nicely for the tee shot, but be wary. There might just be a minefield out there.
That one ends up in the rough.
That went sideways. Whoop, this is taken off on a weird line.
And it's going to be in the rough, it looks like. Frank missed the green off the tee.
Yeah, but this is certainly a tricky little shot coming up here at the par 3.
Frank, this one's headed way right.
And rough trees, all sorts of problems on that right side.
So a chance for birdie after another solid approach shot. Set to go. Not an easy shot by any means. Second shot coming out of the rough here. But now a chance for a birdie.
Oh, good roll, good putt.
Makeable putt right here, currently sitting at 1 under for the round. Steady, solid, and at 1 under par right now. Just a little tap in here. Did the job right there. Now to the 8th hole, Frank, you really just need to follow the trail down to the green here at Paracel Storm.
Barracks are probably the biggest problem in front of you. They're just short and left of this par 3 green. For the very observant, though, they'll notice a little one-on-one, perhaps a little basketball court just along the left side.
A little three-point shooting contest, you and I later on.
This is a par 3. Rich, there's nothing worse than this. This might look all right, but in the mulch, this is a disastrous situation.
So this is not mulch ado about nothing?
Ah, I get it.
That looked like a miss hit, Frank.
The lie was okay. It's a little surprising. Maybe wrong club.
Oh, can't hide the flagstick from that man.
Remember, out of the rough. Expect the ball to jump forward a little bit.
That is professional with a capital P right there.
That's stealing.
This one just requires a little bit of focus. Drops for a par. Pop's lining this one up for par. With authority, count it as a par and 2 under. Frank, it's been a real battle out here so far on the front 9. Let's finish it off in style here.
There's a great view just slightly right of the 9th green. Look out. Now, that's full of people. You might get the appropriate applause, maybe even a standing ovation, at least a salute. 150 yards, approximately to that flag, but you have to be precise. Let's see how precise you can be.
Seems to like it. Looks like it's headed for the green. Moving a little left of the flagstick, Frank. Needs a pair of binoculars to see the hole. On the way. Oh yeah, go ahead and fill it up. Good chunk of real estate here, 22 feet away. Hard putt, soft hands, beautiful roll. These putts keep the round together. Wow, touch of a locksmith out there, making everything.
Yeah, and the result, yet another birdie too. Totally in command.
Well, that was a nearly flawless performance on the front side, but Frank, we know it's an 18-hole game, isn't it?
That's right. Now's not the time to pat yourself on the back.
Early part of this second 9 and a good approach shot, and now pretty good chance for birdie. Frank, about 150 yards to that hole location. Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read. Tough game, Frank. You can hit 300-yard drives and miss 3-foot putts.
Yeah, there's the ecstasy, and that's the agony.
Birdie chance for Pops Masterson. How about that? 4 under par. Well, a fine birdie chance for her right now. Score that a birdie. One under for the round. Now at the 11th, and Frank, looking out over the expanse of this hole and really the entire golf course here at Parasol Storm, it's amazing because we're looking at a military playground, but at one time you have to remember this island was under siege.
Well, right now this is almost like an obstacle course from one of the shortest par threes on this golf course. Seawall once again protecting the beach side of the hole. Plenty of green there to the right side. That's a nice fat part of the green. Really, it shouldn't be a problem.
Moving a little bit to the right. Looking at 125 yards. Well, she's just made it look easy out there today. Swing has been rhythmical, tempo's been good, and really has played outstanding golf. Shouldn't be a problem here, but not a formality either. That puts them at 4 under for the round. Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall.
Second shot.
There's a birdie, and she's now 2 under par. Frank, the 12th hole here at Parasol Storm, 241 yards, island green. I can't think of a harder par 3 in the world.
This hole, you really have to be wary on the direction of the wind, because if it's coming off the island, then it's going to blow it towards the water. It's going to make...
That ball is lost in the water. So hit the previous shot in the water, took a drop. This now the 3rd shot. Frank, there's fairway, there's rough, and then there's mulch.
Yeah, the worst thing about the mulch is all these little chips around the ball, and that so the ball doesn't sit up. And once again, this shot might look easy, but if you just miss it a bit, it so exaggerates the outcome.
Get down, lay down. Frank landed it on the green.
It was never going to stop.
No, no chance. That is always so disappointing from that kind of a spot when you come up short.
Yeah, you're licking your chops over that one. A shot you think you could hit directly at the flag. Now, test for the short game.
That will be a 3 over on the scorecard for this hole. Time to pick up and move on. This requires a lot of speed through the ball. Well, that's what separates the good players from the great players. The ability to get it that close from that kind of lie. Hops now to only lose 1 shot. Blemish on the scorecard, a bogey. Been pretty good all day from this distance, just trying to take care of business. 2 under on the day. Here we are now at the 13th, and Frank, this is a stout-looking hole.
Rich, it certainly is. No time to be superstitious on number 13. The trenches, they protect the back and the right of this green. Anything left of that, time to call in the Navy.
Not what they planned. Trip to the beach.
They should be able to splash that out, though.
Frank, so many different lies in golf. This is one you don't see too much. The golf ball is on the mulch.
Yeah, and it never really sits up, so this is one of those ones you've got to be much more conservative than you'd like to be. Play for the fat of the green.
Frank, that was a pretty good shot right there.
Yeah, he's done well to minimize the damage.
Lays the face open. He'll try to pop this one out. Just trying to make clean contact from the rough. Edwin pops. Masterson now eyeing a par. Well, that was a good-looking putt, just not falling right now.
No, sadly, he's going to be disappointed.
This one just requires a little bit of focus. Holding steady now at 2 under par. Makeable putt right here, currently sitting at 1 under for the round. So with that, the score is now at even par. Has this now for bogey. Three under on the day. Frank, this looks like a green where if things didn't go well, you might find yourself just walking around in a bit of a haze, maybe talking to an old volleyball that washed ashore.
It's almost like a booby trap, Rich. It looks way too easy after some of the other holes we've seen. I've got this sort of sneaking suspicion there's something out there. It just looks like a green, just perched up there with very little trouble around. That's got me thinking there might just be something out there. This looks like it's going to find the target.
Wow, Frank, he is dialed in.
Yeah, that was just some shot on there. Easy birdie. Whoop, this is taken off on a weird line.
And it's going to be in the rough, it looks like. That looked like a miss hit, Frank.
The lie was okay. It's a little surprising. Maybe wrong club.
Second shot coming out of the rough here. It's in the hole. Just a sensational shot right there. Putting a good round together now at 4 under. Drops for a par. Frank, in any war zone, the element of surprise is always so critical, and we see that here at the 15th.
Yeah, this green is fortified by the jungle that surrounds it, and just a little feature that you often don't see on a golf course. It's not a bunker in the middle of that green, just a mini forest.
Just a little short shot here. Appears to be a smart shot, Frank.
Yeah, no problem here. That's going to fly all the way.
On the green and looking at a birdie opportunity. Ball sitting down here in the rough. He's digging in. Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read. Four under on the day. This for birdie. Has the birdie and moves to 3 under par. Now at -2 for the day. 16th hole now, Frank, here at Paracel Storm. 153 yards, little breeze here. This might be time for a nice low tracer.
Yeah, if you're running out of gas, you can always use the solar panels just to recharge. Green perched out. Boulders to the right, beach to the right.
Frank, not easy to keep your eye on the target when you've just splashed down.
Yeah, but on the flip side, too, one bad shot doesn't have to lead to 2.
So this will be the 3rd shot after taking the drop with the ball going in the water. Frank missed the green off the tee.
Yeah, but this is certainly a tricky little shot coming up here at the par 3.
This is a good-looking shot. See if he can get this one to drop here at the 16th for a birdie. Second shot from the rough. It's on the way. Boy, this could be a tough one right here, Frank.
It's a very long putt, Rich. Obviously, it's difficult, but he still has a shot to sink this one for birdie. It's a cruel game.
Shouldn't be a problem here. Not her best effort, walks away with a bogey. Well done. Nudge this one home, finish it up. Did the job right there. Seventeenth hole now at Paracel Storm, and Frank, as we come toward the end of this round, you really want to salute the caddies as well as the players.
That's right. They've gone out there with meal packs today and canteens to make sure that there's the right amount of sustenance. But if you're looking for victory, then a strong finish is needed. Good chance for a birdie here at 17. You've got to traverse, obviously, the water there, and without the help of the Navy today, this is going to have to come in nice and high and soft, a little bit like a paratrooper coming in down there to avoid all those trees and palm trees that protect the front and the right side of this par 3. Well, Mr. Ball does not meet Mr. Fairway. It's off, rough. This one just inside 30 feet. Certainly you wouldn't call that close.
On the computer, it registers at 29 feet. He'll need to be strong with this. Just needs to keep it steady here over the putt. Headed for home and in. What a tremendous putt. This from 7 feet. In for par, and will sit tight at 4 under. She'll be happy with par here. Frank, the job is almost complete here at the 18th hole, and a good job at that, as we have seen some spectacular golf here at Paracel Storm in the South China Sea.
Just one more battle ahead, the difficult 18. Should they succeed, then I think they're worthy of a salute.
That will be a great look at birdie.
You know, this is not heading in the right direction.
No, it looks like it's going to be in the rough.
Well, that's a little absurd, that, Rich. That shot wasn't that hard, but it's come up well short.
Didn't appear committed through impact. Frank, this one is right and is wrong. Frank, there's fairway, there's rough, and then there's mulch.
Yeah, the worst thing about the mulch is all these little chips around the ball, and that's so the ball doesn't sit up. And once again, this shot might look easy, but if you just miss it a bit, it so exaggerates the outcome.
These putts keep the round together. Starting to feel it now, 3 under. Has his par. Has it. Frank, solid effort today. What's your assessment?
Golf like that can certainly result in wins, that's for sure. But more importantly, the opportunity to get one.
Presented by EA Sports and the PGA Tour. Welcome to the home of one of the most terrifying holes in all of golf, the 18th, set atop Devil's Cauldron Volcano. I'm Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo. We're here today in the South Pacific Ocean. This course has it all: cliff shots, shortcuts, a skull-shaped green, and of course, the volcano. Frank, what do you make of this most unusual layout?
Rich, it's not for the faint-hearted. You'll see Buccaneers Bay out there, well, to be avoided, like a lot of the traps out there. Anybody with a cutlass or, well, flying the wrong flag, stay away from them as well. But there's green fairways. There's a little green on the end with the right place to go. Find that, that's your treasure.
She had a good shot off the tee, and now she has all sorts of options available. Let's see what she does here. Into the tall cabbage. That ball is swallowed up.
Second shot.
Second shot coming out of the rough here. Second from an excellent lie. Seems to like it. Looks like it's headed for the green. Superb shot.
Well, that's as good as it's going to get. There's going to be no worries about making that one.
Third shot, looking for a good one. That is always so disappointing from that kind of a spot when you come up short.
Yeah, you're licking your chops over that one. A shot you think you could hit directly at the flag. Now, test for the short game.
This requires a lot of speed through the ball.
It's no snack, though.
That looked for all the world like it was dead center.
I've got no idea how that missed.
Been pretty good all day from this distance, just trying to take care of business. Oh, man.
I just pushed it.
Boy, that hurts. And this will be a 5-foot putt here. That is so painful when you come up that short.
Why is it that putts on line come up short?
An ill-timed double bogey for him, but he has to make it first. At +2 already. So they'll tap in. Putt drops, now at 1 over par. So a drop shot right there, and now at 1 over par for the day. Frank, you've seen golf holes around the world. What do you think of the par 3 second here at Treasure Island?
Fun hole, really, Rich. Small green just up there on that ledge, and really, you have to pick the right weapon off this tee.
Frank, I think that's going in the bunker.
Looks like it.
NASA, we have a splashdown. So hit the previous shot in the water, took a drop. This now the third shot. And the tee shot ends up in the bunker.
There's a bunker over there.
I think he's headed for it. Frank made this hole just a little bit harder, hitting it into the rough.
I would say a lot harder. This one's going left, Rich.
Not knocking down the flagstick here, but looks as though it will find the green.
I think if we stretch the tape, Rich, we might get to 29 feet.
Frank, there's nothing like catching a bunker shot just perfectly. Splashes out, lands softly, and just runs up to that hole.
Yeah, it's like 3D. There's the component in the strike where it's going to land, and then the third part of it is how much will it roll.
Second shot coming out of the rough here. Settles in over the putt. Well, that's a bit disappointing.
I guarantee you, though, she thought she had that one.
Not an easy one, 20 feet away. How does that not go in?
Amazing. Stroke looked good. Line looked good. Just did not take that final break.
Not a gimme, but well within his range. So, 2 over early. Has this now for bogey. So, 2 over par for the round. Three over for the day. Well, Frank, on this hole, the play obviously is to the left, but not too far left.
Too far left, and you find the water. You'll find a water grave down there, but you're right. Skinny fairway down that left side. This old Captain Hook does bend to the right. And good tee shot, you just might be able to reach this par 5 and 2.
Funny that a hole called Captain Hook would bend to the right.
Oh, that's off the beaten track. That's got 5 minutes to find it. Whoop, this is taken off on a weird line.
And it's going to be in the rough, it looks like. In the thick stuff.
Thick, it's brittle out there.
You can see a little bit off balance on the tee, and that one is going to be in the rough. Second shot from the rough. It's on the way.
Good recovery shot. Couldn't make the green, but at least he's back in play.
Played the smart shot right there.
Remember, out of the rough. Expect the ball to jump forward a little bit.
Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
That one ends up in the rough.
That went sideways.
Well, that ball nestled down just a bit in that heavy rough. Frank, playing downhill, you always want to take less club. Go ahead and hit the ball a little harder. Not looking good, Frank.
I think it's wet.
That looked like a miss hit, Frank.
The lie was okay. It's a little surprising. Maybe wrong club?
Yeah, about 150 yards left here, Frank. Might need some wings just to clear this hazard.
That water is looking rather intimidating.
So it's been a tough hole. Previous shot went into the water, took the drop. This now, the sixth shot. Oh, no, look out, Frank. I think he flushed that one.
Oh, this is going, gone.
Frank, that was a pretty tough lie out of the rough there.
Yeah, it made that actually a little easier than what it really is. It would have been too easy to try and bite off more than you can chew. So I got to give him a pat on the back for that.
Back in the fairway. Well, that's how you play the game. Right there. That's a head scratcher. No other way to put it. That close to the green and misses it badly to the right. Getting set now over the putt. Wow, he got robbed, Frank.
No, it's like kissing your mother-in-law.
Shouldn't be a problem here.
I don't know what they were looking at.
So a tester from 4 feet. Has not gotten off to a great start. 4 over. Must make this for a double bogey. Couple shots over par. So just a formality here. Six over for the day. Here at the fourth, Frank, what's the best way to take on this hole?
It has to be a good tee shot, Rich. It's a dogleg left, but you don't really worry about that fact. Worry about the fact that the fairway is anything other than straight. So somehow just find a little sliver of fairway. Then you're going to find that second shot that much more inviting.
Wow, that is a monster drive down there, about 315 yards. No fairway here, this one in that rough. Set to go. Not an easy shot by any means. Frank, this one's going too far left, it looks like.
Yeah, it was fine there for a little while, but if it keeps going left, it's doomed.
Into the tall cabbage. That ball is swallowed up. Setting up for an approach shot here. Playing in the winds can really be demoralizing. You might hit a shot perfectly and airmail it by 20 yards.
Yeah, well, just because the first part of the round hasn't gone your way, you should still have a feel of the conditions by now.
Mishit, wrong club. What happened there, Frank?
All of the above, maybe. It's a little bit of a head scratcher. Wasn't that hard a shot.
Second shot. Good look at the green. That one is well off target. Solid play, heart of the green. You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point. Chases that in for par to stay at 4 over. This would give her the bogey. Frank, we hear the sports psychologists often say, put the mistake behind you, live in the moment. Easier said than done.
It is. Male, female, it doesn't... It certainly affects everybody that plays this game, and somehow you've got to play. You've heard the old cliche, one shot at a time, but this is why it's so important, because if anything from the past creeps in, it really does affect on what you do after that.
That was just a beautiful drive. He hit it solid and right in the middle. Frank, on an uphill shot like this one, did you do anything differently in terms of your setup over the ball?
Yeah, I made sure the ball wasn't too far forward, because on an uphill shot, there's always a struggle to get all your weight going forward.
So the second of the par 4 goes begging, and now I'll have to rely on the short game.
Yeah, but a short game, as we all know, can redeem a lot of mistakes. Let's see if he does it here.
Yardage book says 140, second shot.
Now, this is not heading in the right direction.
No, it looks like it's going to be in the rough. That is always so disappointing from that kind of a spot when you come up short.
Yeah, you're licking your chops over that one. A shot you think you could hit directly at the flag. Now, test for the short game. In the direction of the sand.
Looks like it. Somehow that managed to miss the bunker, Frank.
Yeah, that looked like it was sand for sure. Got to be careful here. Downhill, he's got to time it good because your weight's a little bit more on your front foot.
And setting up here in the rough. Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus. All right, going in the right direction at 5 over. Masterson for his par. Been a rocky road to this point. 4 over par on the round. Could use this one. This is for par. That's how you maintain momentum. You make those putts for par. Frank, hopefully top of your game and top of the world from this point at the 6th.
Huge elevation here, Rich, so obviously that tee shot is going to go that much further off the elevation. And that's really the goal. Tee it high, let it fly a little. Keep it left of the needle top mountain on that left side, and really you won't have much left on this fairly short par 4.
So that ball nestles down in the rough. Just got away a little bit on that tee ball. Playing this par 4, still not on the green after that second shot.
That's still not done. A good third shot, maybe get away here with par.
Here's the approach shot, starting to find the rhythm now after that balky beginning.
Yeah, good opportunity here. Flag very much one you can aim at, and especially as they're starting to play well. Well, that's a little absurd, that, Rich. That shot wasn't that hard, but it's come up well short.
Didn't appear committed through impact. Frank, what's the best way to get at the golf ball when it's sitting down just a bit in the rough?
You have to accept the fact, first and foremost, that you're not going to get clean contacts. You have to decide whether the ball's going to come out short or it's going to fly. Because very rarely will it come out the normal distance of what you hit on the fairway. So if it's a little thin and wispy, chances are it might fly. If it's nestled down, you're going to have to take at least another club.
Been pretty good all day from this distance, just trying to take care of business. Need to do it one at a time, so with that, they're at +4. All right, hanging in. That's a par and 4 over. Doesn't want to let this one get away. She needs this for par. Did the job right there. Well, Frank, this is some hole. This is a par 5, the 7th that snakes its way all across the island.
You think in a direct route you could be able to reach this par 5 and 2, but the rock down the distance nearly makes that second shot impossible to try and carry over that. Plus the fact it's a lot of uneven lies down here on this fairway. Step sort of drops down in level as it goes down the left side, and chances are you won't get a flat lie for that second shot. So play this as a 3-shotter.
Frankie's managed to hit it in the rough yet again.
Yeah, this is hard to imagine. You know, the fairways aren't that narrow today.
Ball sitting down here in the rough. He's digging in. Frank did the prudent thing there, didn't he?
Yeah, in the end, really, you could have turned that into a disaster instead. Actually, a good chance, really, to perhaps get away with par.
Not very good at all right there.
No, I think it's time to sell the clubs, buy a tennis racket. Whoop, this is taken off on a weird line.
And it's going to be in the rough, it looks like. Frank in a bit of trouble here at the par 5, missing the green on that third shot.
Yeah, just battling to make par. And this is going to be difficult.
Well, he's going to have to hit the same club a lot harder or just hit another one. Frank, this one's not looking good.
Yeah, it's certainly not down the fairway line, heading toward the rough.
You have to think he'll be happy with that, given that it looked like it was headed right for the rough.
Yeah, it looked like that was the only place it was going to finish. But, well, it's a little bit unexplainable. Let's see what he does from here now. Lucky break. Well, there's a big green, and they're going to use every inch of it.
locked in on the read and the speed. Wow, almost fell within just a few inches of dropping. Shouldn't be a problem here. That's a step in the right direction, makes the putt, and makes the move to 3 over. Just 5 feet left. In for par. Par bid here. Rough day so far, 4 over par on the round. Eighth hole, Frank, and X marks the spot. Wonder what's under that green, partner.
Well, you'd think there'd be gold bullion, something like that, but really the best you're going to get is maybe a birdie or perhaps an ace.
You didn't win a car back then, did you?
No, it was, what was it, doubloon in those days?
Spanish doubloon. Didn't check, Frank.
Yeah, just not enough spin on that, really. I mean, that almost like took that first bounce and just ricocheted forward.
Frank, this one looks like it might have a postage stamp on it. Airmail City.
Yeah, lick it. Send it.
They'll pay a little bit of a price for missing the fairway here because from that rough, you cannot control the spin on the golf ball. Frank, out of the rough, best to swing a little bit easier or get after it with all you have?
Well, a little bit in between. Obviously, it's going to require a little bit of strength to make sure that club keeps going through, but it's still the planning of the shot. Once again, check short. Is there anything I have to carry? And even remember, there's always the option of just simply pitching the ball down the fairway and taking your medicine.
Second shot from the rough. It's on the way. You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point. Good putt. These putts keep the round together. Saves par, stays at 3 over. This would be a good time to reverse the slide. 5 over par on the day. Now at the 9th hole, Frank, not surprisingly, it's called Mermaid.
That's right. Just keep a little left there down that fairway. And really, it could be called Shipwrecked as well, because that's the line in the distance. Not overly long, not exactly straight. Just exactly what you'd expect at Treasure Island.
Pirates certainly left their mark on this hole. Frank, not the longest hitter, but sometimes you win tournaments by putting it in a good spot, and that's where we are right here, 280 yards out.
Yeah, 280 down the middle of the fairway. That'll never get you in trouble. Now, this is not heading in the right direction.
No, it looks like it's going to be in the rough. Into the thick stuff. That's a difficult lie. Frank, this ball's in the rough. Anything you change in your technique when a ball's sitting down a little bit?
Yeah, you put the ball back a little bit further in your stance because you're going to get a bit of grass between the ball and the club face. So you have to allow for that and keep that club moving. That grass is going to be that grass is going to create a certain amount of resistance.
Nice position, short grass, second shot.
This looks like it's going to find the target.
How'd you like that strike?
That was top of the tree.
Second shot. Good look at the green. In the greenside bunker here, Frank. Nice to go to the beach, but not too often, we hope. Long putt here. This will require a good touch.
How did that not go in?
Pretty good stroke right there. Just hit it through the break.
It's that sort of distance. If it goes in, it's a bonus.
Shouldn't be a problem here, but not a formality either.
It's a cruel game.
Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus. 3 over for the day. Just a couple of feet. Chases that in for par to stay at 4 over. Just a tap in to finish the hole. That's how you maintain momentum. You make those putts for par. Frank, the nice thing about golf is we have that little break in between nines. And if it's not going well, and that's the case right here, player has a chance to turn it around.
Yeah, this is where you have to dig into your memory bank. Obviously, what you've done wasn't working, so you know what not to do.
Second from an excellent lie. Right in the heart of the fairway. Green light special. Well, this is going to be an interesting day. The wind is howling, or as they would say in Scotland, just a wee breeze. And it looks like it's in the rough there, Frank.
It might not be as bad as it looks.
Third shot, looking for a good one. Well, no other way to say it, Frank. That's just an awful shot.
Bad.
Frank, this one is veering far to the left. And rolls it in. Nice putt. No fireworks, but not bad. That's a par. Stays at 3 over. And he makes it for a bogey here. Frank, to me, this is the ultimate test of a gamer's ability. A par 5 like this, right in the middle of Buccaneer Bay with all of these choices. This is something special.
It is. Forget the fairway on the left. Forget the one next to it, even the one short of it. Look at the two on the right, because those two give you a chance to reach the par 5 and 2.
She's ended up on the fairway, and with such a good lie, so many more options available now. Wow, way to the right here.
And there's rough over there. Yeah, that was a little over-ambitious. This is definitely not going down the fairway.
That doesn't look good. I think it's going to be in the deep rough. In the thick stuff.
Thick? It's brutal out there.
Good lie in the fairway, and a good chance to make something happen here. These winds have held up all day long, definitely playing a part in the shot making we're seeing out there today. Second shot coming out of the rough here. Set to go. Not an easy shot by any means. Headed for the bunker? In the bunker, still with a chance for an up and down. Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
This one looks like it's headed right for the middle of the dance floor, Frank.
Rather nice shot, I would say.
What was he thinking there?
I have no earthly idea.
Not looking good, Frank.
No, I think it's wet.
And he has it, Frank.
I don't believe it.
Okay, that's par. 3 over for the round. Nothing wrong with that par putt. Frank, here at the 12th, again, you need to make a trip across a couple islands.
Well, that's the thing with Buccaneers Bay. All those choices to be made. There's 5 places, really, to find dry ground. The first 3 for the mere mortals. But if you really want to power up on your EA Sports game, look at the 2 in the distance. You hit something special, you just might find land.
Into the tall cabbage. That ball is swallowed up. Beautiful looking shot right here. Frank, it makes the game easy when you play it from the fairway.
Especially when you play it from a lie like that. Rich, with a lie like that on the rough, you're going to get too much grass between club face and ball. You're going to have to adjust for that and at least take a club or 2 more.
Frank did the prudent thing there, didn't he?
Yeah, in the end, really, you could have turned that into a disaster instead. Actually, a good chance, really, to perhaps get away with par.
Frank, you're in the business of analyzing golf shots.
I don't want to see that one again.
That's a disappointment right there, Frank.
Yeah, green light special, really. Come up considerably short.
Oh, man, not a good shot at all.
It was wicked. Oh, that's off the beaten track. That's you got 5 minutes to find it.
Just trying to make clean contact from the rough.
Just too much juicy grass between the ball and the club face. It's always going to come up short out of that sort of light.
Been a rocky round. So with that putt, 2 over par now. All right, hanging in. That's a par and 4 over. Frank, this is an amazing hole. The par 5 13th. First chance eventually to get to Volcano Island, but also a chance to make a huge number here. So much trouble.
Well, you can see why, too. There's trouble all over the place here, Rich. Fairway really is down the right side. And then it depends on how far you hit that tee shot. For multiple of choices with the second, do you go all the way down there? Do you even try and reach the par 5 and 2? Or do you skip across to the other side on the left? And then faced with a lengthy third shot. All those decisions abound on this par 5, just under 600 yards. Oh, nice little bounce forward. Should be close to 300, 290.
Nice position, short grass, second shot. And he steps up to take this shot from the fairway. This one will play a little bit longer. It's up the hill to that green.
That's as bad a shot as I've seen for a long while. Remember, out of the rough. Expect the ball to jump forward a little bit. Good recovery shot. Couldn't make the green, but at least he's back in play.
Played the smart shot right there. Chance to get it close here.
That was terrible.
Well, that's not what they wanted. Way off target. That is always so disappointing from that kind of a spot when you come up short.
Yeah, you're licking your chops over that one. Shot you think you could hit directly at the flag. Now, test for the short game. Well, Mr. Ball does not meet Mr. Fairway. It's off, 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 rough.
And this attempt will be from about 130 yards. just has the feel today.
That's plain not fair.
Oh, boy, this game is cruel, Frank. You get on a roll and then smack. Hits you right in the face and knocks you down. Finally in for a double bogey. Frank, here we go at the 14th, right at the base of Devil's Cauldron.
Yeah, things are starting to heat up here at this par 4 that bends to the right. Sliver of fairway, that's to be gone at. And then the green just tucked around the side. So blind with the tee shot, but a good tee shot shouldn't leave too much of a problem with that second shot. And really, a good chance for birdie.
That is a good tee shot, too. Molten lava. That one was hot right off the club face. Good contact, good result. Strong wind here early in the round. How do you think this is going to affect the players, Frank?
Well, they've got to be clever on a club selection and the type of shot they want to hit now.
And it is not looking like a good lie.
Second shot. Off the flight path again.
He's knocked it on the green, but not in a great position. This is a difficult chance coming up here. Long birdie try. Second shot from the rough. It's on the way. Into the thick stuff. That's a difficult lie. This is the second shot at the par 4.
You know, this is not heading in the right direction.
No, it looks like it's going to be in the rough. Mishit, wrong club. What happened there, Frank?
All of the above, maybe. That's a little bit of a head scratcher. It wasn't that hard a shot.
This requires a lot of speed through the ball. This is a long putt. Really, the key is the speed. If it drops, that's a bonus. I'll be very happy with that one.
Yeah, lag putt, I mean, really, it's unrealistic to try and make those. So anytime you can two-putt from there is a good result.
Getting set now over the putt. All right, no damage done. Stays at 1 over par with that putt. Just a couple of feet. Clean this up with a tap. Did the job right there. Well, not what they wanted. 7 over par already on the round. Frank, this is where you begin to see almost this ingenious, evil nature of this design by the pirates here at Treasure Island. It gets punishing to the finish.
It certainly does, Rich. This is also where we start our ascent to the summit of Devil's Cauldron, with just a little tempting par 3. Just goes across, has to be flighted well across the ravine, but it's got to be up, it better be high, and it better be long enough.
The grind is about to begin here at the par 3 15th. Each hole from here on out climbing up to the top of the volcano.
This ball never even looked like it was going down the fairway, heading way right.
Into the tall cabbage. That ball is that one is gone. OB. This will be the third shot after being penalized for going out of bounds. Well, it looks as though they're going to need to use all their strength to sort of hack it out of that rough. They're missing it off the tee here. You have to think he'll be happy with that, given that it looked like it was headed right for the rough.
Yeah, it looked like that was the only place it was going to finish, but, well, it's a little bit unexplainable. Let's see what he does from here now. Lucky break.
How does that stay out?
I have no earthly idea. Let's crawl that. Hole's round. Ball's meant to go in.
For her birdie. Well, hello there.
Huge bonus making that one.
Standing over this putt, concentrating on the reed. Been a rocky round. Just a little tap in here. Solid effort and reasonable result to stay at 1 over par. 16th hole at Treasure Island. Pure danger, Frank, off that left side while continuing the climb.
And it's aptly named Devil's Elbow, but be careful, because right at the corner of the elbow, now there's no funny bone. Have to be short or long of that, otherwise you're going to go all the way down to the bottom.
That ball nestled down just a bit in that heavy rough. In the fairway, it's lying nicely, and 180 yards left.
Whoop, this is taken off on a weird line.
And it's going to be in the rough, it looks like. And it looks like it's in the rough there, Frank.
It might not be as bad as it looks.
Well, he's going to have to hit the same club a lot harder or just hit another one. Seems to like it. Looks like it's headed for the green. See if he can get this one to drop here at the 16th for a birdie. And setting up here in the rough. Frank, this one's headed way right.
And rough trees, all sorts of problems on that right side.
That's a disappointment right there, Frank.
Yeah, green light special, really. Come up considerably short.
Well, not quite enough on that one, Frank.
Yeah, coming out of the rough, not surprising. Considerably short.
Frank, anything you do differently from the rough in terms of your swing? Do you hinge the club a little bit more quickly?
No, normally put the ball just a little bit further back in your stance because you want the club to be going down. Down, it's got to go down through the grass, through the ball.
Birdie chance here. Very long putt, though.
Got to be a little careful if it gets away on him.
Very well done. Almost made it.
Yeah, there'll be no stress for the next one.
Just needs to keep it steady here over the putt. One over for the day. So a tester from 4 feet. Well, you almost lose count at this point. Safe to say, not under par. In fact, well over par. Par bid here. And he makes it for par. Now to the par 4 17th. 366 yards from the back tee here to the middle of the green. Not much room for error here, Frank.
Yeah, it mightn't be long, but the price you pay if you're offline, especially to the right, you pay with your life.
Right where they were aiming, in the fairway. Chance to get it close here. Good looking shot right here. Just a well-played approach shot right there. Only about 10 feet away and a good look at birdie here. This one will play a little bit longer. It's up the hill to that green. Oh, not what you want here, Frank. Sit down.
This is out of bounds over there.
That is always so disappointing from that kind of a spot when you come up short.
Yeah, you're licking your chops over that one. A shot you think you could hit directly at the flag. Now, test for the short game.
Just trying to make clean contact from the rough. Might want to check the GPS on a putt this long. Frank, this game will drive you crazy.
Yeah, you can do so many things right, and then just something so simple, completely wrong.
This one just requires a little bit of focus. Wow, he needed that, Frank, in the worst way.
Interesting to see what's ahead from now, whether that was just a flash in the pan or the start of something good.
Everything has gone wrong today. Just continues to be ugly. Just a tap in to finish the hole. Did the job right there. Frank, they dive for golf balls at 17, the Island Green TPC Sawgrass. They're not diving for balls here at 18 at Treasure Island, are they?
No, the finishing hole is a par 3. All the way across the lava, you'll find a green.
Great way to finish off the final approach shot with a birdie opportunity. Appears to be a smart shot, Frank.
Yeah, no problem here. That's going to fly all the way. And this will be fine, just a little left of the flag.
This is a 22-foot putt. Missed on that one, Frank.
Yeah, not a problem.
And it's a long way to the hole from here. Never easy. How does that not go in?
Amazing. That stroke looked good, line looked good, just did not take that final break.
He has this for birdie. Just didn't have the speed. Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus. Got it for par. Takes care of business there.
Solid stroke.
Nudge this one home, finish it up. So Frank, as we put a wrap on the day, it wasn't his best performance, but there's always tomorrow in golf.
Yeah, you still got to keep your head high. Golf's a game that's going to be it's going to bring everybody to their knees now and again. But dream for a better day, and it could be just around the corner.
And there'll be a next time for us as well, partner. This is Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo. saying so long for now. Coverage coming your way is presented by EA Sports and the PGA Tour. Well, hello again and welcome. Rich Lerner alongside my colleague Frank Novelo for EA Sports, and we'll be calling all the action for today's event. Frank, you and I have covered golf around the world for a pretty long time, and I've never seen anything like this. This is just an absolute mind-blower.
It is. The design team of EA Sports have come up with something that is truly a pleasure. You're going to see steam engines going across the canyons. You're going to be hitting shots that you never thought were imaginable on a golf course. This golf course, 8,600 yards. I know we're at altitude, but if you look down, you're going to see that Colorado River. Now, if you're scared of heights, well, then certainly don't look that way. You can go around, over canyons. You can bounce it off rock faces. This is up to you on how you want to play it. Great Bobby Jones used to say the hardest shot in golf's the next one. Judging by that light, it's not going to be too hard. This is not heading in the right direction.
No, it looks like it's going to be in the rough.
Errant tee shot here, Rich, but going to have to muscle this one out of the rough. This has no chance of finding the fairway. This is turning left.
Into the thick stuff. That's a difficult lie. Second shot coming out of the rough here.
There's a bunker over there.
I think he's headed for it. That one ends up in the rough.
That went sideways. Remember, out of the rough. Expect the ball to jump forward a little bit.
In the bunker, still with a chance for an up and down. Good lie in the fairway, and a good chance to make something happen here. Well, this is the kind of wind that separates the great players from the average players. You really have to be strong to handle these kinds of winds. She is putting the full arsenal of her skill set on display this afternoon. Beautiful shot. Great professionals, Frank, they don't fear the greenside bunker shot, do they?
No, because you can be as aggressive or as conservative as you want. You actually have far more options, and you don't have to hit the ball first.
Shouldn't be a problem here.
That looked like it nearly got below the lip, the level of the lip there.
Can't believe that one, Frank. That was a complete horseshoe right there. You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point. And so just getting started, even par so far. Steady as she goes, another par, and still even for the round. So they'll tap in. In for par. So, Frank, our first par 3, it's the second hole, and that green is kind of lonely out there.
Plus, it's built up a little. As you can see, nearly a perfect circle. Hole is 285 yards, and the two bunkers in front, really, they're not that bad. They'll save a shot, really, from sort of bouncing elsewhere. But really, anything on the green, you'd take right now.
285 yards, that's a long poke, but again, it is downhill, 36 feet downhill to that green.
Second shot. Safely on the dance floor.
Settles in over the putt. Even par early on.
Even par currently.
Still even par for the day. Has this one for par. They'll take it. That's a par.
Now, this is a daunting tee shot. Long par 5. You can see the arches. Somehow keep the ball either low enough. If you hit one up a little too high, then you will catch the top of the arch.
You want to take it right under it, Frank? This is a really cool-looking tee shot, isn't it?
It's very intimidating. And you can hit it either left or right of the rock pile up ahead. Either way will work, but if you hit it down the right, then you're going to have to cut that second shot. This is like hitting down a rock.
Lost that one, out of bounds, and that is a costly stroke. So playing the third shot right now after having gone OB.
Whoop, this is taken off on a weird line.
And it's going to be in the rough, it looks like. Into the tall cabbage. That ball is swallowed up. Now the third shot at the par 5. Frank, you're in the business of analyzing golf shots.
I don't want to see that one again.
Second shot coming out of the rough here. Well, it looks as though they're going to need to use all their strength to sort of hack it out of that rough, missing it off the tee here. How tough is this going to be now from the rough, Frank?
Oh, it's tough to say, Rich. I mean, so much is going to depend on that lie. I'm going to need a little bit of luck.
Frank, this one's not looking good.
Yeah, it's certainly not down the fairway line, heading toward the rough.
Set to go. Not an easy shot by any means. Frank, on an uphill shot like this one, did you do anything differently in terms of your setup over the ball?
Yeah, I made sure the ball wasn't too far forward because on an uphill shot, there's always a struggle to get all your weight going forward.
About 18 feet away with a decent look.
This ball never even looked like it was going down the fairway, hitting way right.
That is always so disappointing from that kind of a spot when you come up short.
Yeah, you're licking your chops over that one. A shot you think you could hit directly at the flag. Now, test for the short game. Well, there's a big green, and they're going to use every inch of it.
Straightforward pitch shot here, 35 yards. Frank, it took some prodding to get me up in the hot air balloon, but now that we're here, I can't believe what I'm seeing. The views are just to die for.
Well, Rich, it certainly was a first for me as well to call golf from a hot air balloon, but I guess we did have the best seat in the house to see all of the canyon from that area. The way in which the golf course weaves its way through, I think is just is something that I've never seen before. Donkeys instead of caddies, the bison tee markers. You could almost see history evolve in it, and the fact that we now have a golf course in this area, and we have a bird's eye view of it.
Surprise, surprise.
I tell you, just when you thought things were going to go the other way.
Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus. 2-1 over par early on in this round.
Now move ahead to the fourth. A very short par 4.
Just an iron off the tee. You want to play this one for position. So this is where club selection becomes much more important. Uphill, make sure you have enough stick, and then swing away. Well, that is a ball striking clinic right there. Another dazzling approach shot. Pretty close. Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
About 110 yards to the flag stick. Another good swing, and it looks like, Frank, another really good shot. Birdie putt on the way for Pops Masterson. Wow, he got robbed, Frank.
No, it's like kissing your mother-in-law.
This is a 13-footer. Frank, that is nothing more than a punch to the gut.
Oh, it's cruel, Rich. Good putt, and it deserves so much more. Another shot added, though.
I mean, takes the wind right out of your sails. That's a step in the right direction. Makes the putt and makes the move to 3 over. Did the job right there. This putt for par. Solid par. To the par 3 fifth hole, and wow, look at this drop, Frank. Not only do you need the right stick, but you probably need a parachute just to get from the tee to the green here.
You're right, Rich. It's almost like jumping off a high diving board. It is 240 feet from the tee and then downwards to that green, which is some 228 yards away. That is some free fall.
In
Now, this is not heading in the right direction.
No, it looks like it's going to be in the rough. Had the club face open just a bit at impact, and that one moves considerably to the right of the flagstick.
This is way left going left.
And that one's going to be in the rough, it looks like. Just a little offline, so now, Frank, he's going to have to deal with a rough.
Well, it'll be interesting to see how strong he is.
Long putt here. This will require a good touch. That's a nice lag putt. Frank, what would you focus on a long putt?
That 3-foot circle, obviously you allow yourself a little bit more the further and further away you get, but just expectations, lower them a little bit. There's certain distances, just take 2.
Shot now from the rough. Frank, what's he facing?
Well, the lie first and foremost. If it's sitting down, then obviously you're not going to get a very good contact. Nothing wrong with coming up a little bit short of the green. Problem is turning one mistake into another.
Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read. Three over for the day. Pops Masterson for par. Okay, has it and stays at 1 over par. So they'll tap in. Not a problem from there, right in the middle. We'll hop on board, Frank, here at the par 5 6th. There's the moving train.
Hopefully it's the birdie train and not the bogey train. The arches, as the train just passes by, they have to also be negotiated. Catch one a little high and it may be a little too good and you might hit the top of that. Somehow keep it underneath that and you'll see the hole start to bend to the left. This par 5 is reachable, but it is going to take some doing. It's a rocky road. Long and straight.
That's how you do it. That's a good start to the hole, right down the middle. Frank, how frustrating can it get playing into strong winds?
Well, it's going to magnify every bad shot you hit, but it's also going to separate the good ones from the rest of the field.
Just need to settle down, relax on this next shot after going out of bounds.
The amount of times somebody splits the fairway after hitting one out of bounds is astronomical.
Third shot now after having gone OB.
good scoring opportunity. Third shot here at the par 5.
And from the fairway for his second shot here. Setting up for this next approach, our featured player starting to pick it up after that less than stellar start to the round.
But as we know, Rich, golf is such a streaky game. Perhaps now this player can catch fire and put together some good holes in a row.
Probably going to have to hit one more club here, Frank. Little bit uphill.
Whoop, this is taken off on a weird line.
And it's going to be in the rough, it looks like. On the green and in play. Good shot. Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
Frank, this one is right and is wrong. That looked like a miss hit, Frank.
The lie was okay. It's a little surprising. Maybe wrong club.
Look out left.
And there's rough over there. Oh, that's off the beaten track. You've got 5 minutes to find it.
He'll need to be strong with this. Locked in on the read and the speed. Right off the edge.
Just a fraction softer, then it might have just turned in.
These putts keep the round together. Oh man, just slides by. And only a tap in left. Good putt. He has this attempt for par. One over for the day. That's a bogey. Nudge this one home, finish it up. He takes care of business there.
Solid stroke.
Now the par 4 7th hole, and Frank, really an ingenious design.
It is, just to find a fairway around that enormous rock crop. Would have been too expensive to take the crop of rock out, and it would have been just a boring straight-ahead par 4. Now, you see the bunker behind this green. That really protects the shot going slightly long from going to into the canyon. A lot of different ways to play it. You can play it as a layup, then the second shot across the rock crop, or get a little inventive and try and carve one to the right off the tee. A little ambitious, maybe.
How about that bunker behind the green? So that sets up a tougher second shot, missing the fairway with the drive, now in the rough. This one is definitely heading left. Looks like it is going to end up in the rough. In the thick stuff.
Thick? It's brittle out there.
Well, this will not be an easy shot from the second cut and 185 yards still to go. Frank, ball is in the rough here. What are the problems on this next shot?
Well, this is really where the skill level comes in. A good part, this is where the good player separates himself from the rest.
Well, the stats say that is a green hit in regulation, but it's not yet a par on the card. Very tough putt coming up. Second shot coming out of the rough here. And setting up here in the rough. Miss hit, wrong club. What happened there, Frank?
All of the above, maybe. That's a little bit of a head scratcher. Wasn't that hard a shot.
This is a cross-country special. That's all he wanted to do there.
Yeah, it's touch. And when you think from that distance, chances of making are almost none. So to guarantee a two-putt, well done.
Been pretty good all day from this distance, just trying to take care of business. How did that stay out, Frank?
Did everything but go in.
Shouldn't be a problem here. Makes it and moves to one over. Just the tap in to finish the hole. So 2 over par for the round. This would be a good time to reverse the slide. 5 over par on the day.
Well, Rich, the 8th hole, well in excess of 700 yards, a little sliver of fairway canyon, left rock on the right. This is a chance to really push the button down and try and see how far you can hit it, but you better be straight.
Frank, is that out of play on the left?
It leads to Colorado, that river.
Frank, this one's going too far left, it looks like.
Yeah, it was fine there for a little while, but if it keeps going left, it's doomed.
Pretty good result right there, considering...
It looked rough all the way,
Exactly.
Rich. It really did.
Missed that one, and it is going towards the rough. Into the thick stuff, that's a difficult lie. Second shot from the rough. It's on the way.
You know, this is not heading in the right direction.
No, it looks like it's going to be in the rough.
Yeah, it was a little over-ambitious.
Nice position, short grass, second shot.
This has no chance of finding the fairway. This is turning left.
Right in the heart of the fairway, green light special. Frank, you always start out thinking about going low, but you know in this game you can end up feeling low. What do you tell a player who's had an off day?
Well, this is as much about managing your misses as celebrating your great shots. You look at the best players in the world, they know how to play bad better than anybody.
Frank, this ball's in the rough. You like to hinge just a little bit quicker on the takeaway when the ball is down like this?
No, when it's down, you've just got to make sure that you wind up almost like you're hitting a tee shot. This is not one to be dallied with. You've got to hit it powerfully, and you really have to focus on that club getting through the grass, past the ball, and out the other side.
Set to go. Not an easy shot by any means. Well, you can see a little bit off balance on the tee, and that one is going to be in the rough. See if our featured golfer can get a little something positive going here, Frank. It has been a miserable day.
Yeah, things have just appeared too tough. So really just somehow just eradicate everything you've been thinking right now. Realize this green's big enough. Just get something on the green. Opportunity maybe for a birdie. Well, there's a big green, and they're going to use every inch of it.
Solid play, heart of the green. This one just requires a little bit of focus. Ooh, almost fell, just a few inches from dropping.
Sometimes the game just isn't fair.
A good 20-footer here.
More than a bonus on the scorecard, that.
Shouldn't be a problem here, but not a formality either. That is a solid par putt right there. This for him would be one drop shot.
I don't think a tourniquet is going to work after that one.
Tough to watch. So, Frank, it's more than 600 yards, and you would think, well, wait a minute, there's no way this should be a par 4, but because
it
of what
shouldn't be, Rich.
but because of the elevation and the altitude, it's playing what, in the high 400s, somewhere in there.
It's still downright mean. It is. It's mean.
And take two of your best shots to get home. That's an absolute tracer right there. In the fairway and well over 320 yards. Right out of the center of the bat.
Did you hear that?
Second from an excellent lie.
Second shot.
Good lie in the fairway, and a good chance to make something happen here. Frank, going back 100 years or more, we used to see winning scores in stroke play tournaments, 72-hole events of 300 thereabouts, but obviously, like so many things in golf, everything has improved.
Yeah, you people would scoff at sort of saying 475s would win a US Open or a British Open. It didn't, and it does. But, you know, with equipment and people have really got into the game, they've worked it out, and they just plain got better at it. They realize that, you know, stroke play, you can't just swing from the trees, so to speak. You've really got to work your way around and get better. You just can't sort of settle for mediocrity.
Now on the green, has about 10 feet left there to save par. Another good swing, and it looks like, Frank, another really good shot. and getting ready for the putt. Well, you can see the golfer is just boiling right now after that miss and a drop shot here at the 9th. These putts keep the round together. Well, that hurts. Well, Frank, you hear it so often. This is a game of dealing with your miscues.
That's the beauty of this game of golf. It giveth and it taketh away.
This is a 9-footer. You have to make those from that distance. That hurts. Trying to get out of here without too many bumps and bruises. This one is for bogey. That's a bogey. Six over for the day. Nudge this one home, finish it up. Stroke that with authority. So we're ready to start the back nine. Rich Lerner for EA Sports, along with my partner Frank Nobilo. Frank, tell us a little bit about the 10th.
Yet another tight tee shot, Rich. This time the canyon is on the right side, though. And you can see that left side well protected by that wall of rock. Not an overly long par 4, but once again, you've got to thread a drive down there to have any chance to really see this flag.
And it looks like it's in the rough there, Frank.
It might not be as bad as it looks.
That's a bit offline in the rough. That was just a beautiful drive. He hit it solid and right in the middle. Second shot coming out of the rough here. That shot does finish up on the green, but it sets up for a very difficult putt. Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
That's a disappointment right there, Frank.
Yeah, green light special, really. Come up considerably short.
And the second shot now. This from 170 yards.
Whoop, this is taken off on a weird line.
And it's going to be in the rough, it looks like. Ball sitting down here in the rough. He's digging in.
Oh, solid strike right in the heart of the green.
This is a cross-country special. This one looks good. Might like it. Oh, they're going to love it. What a putt. This is a long birdie putt here. Requires good judgment of the speed and the line. Just try to lag it down there. So, 1 over par for the round. Been pretty good all day from this distance, just trying to take care of business. Chases that in for par to stay at 4 over. Here at the 11th hole, and Frank, once again, we hear phrases like rock wall, canyon, not your ordinary golf course, is it?
That's right. This par 4 bends a little to the right. Actually, a big advantage for a longer hitter here, because if you can hit it far enough down here, you will see the green. Anything short of that, and it's going to be a blind second. Oh, that was sweet. Straight down the middle.
This one is definitely heading left. Looks like it is going to end up in the rough. Into the tall cabbage. That ball is swallowed up. And from the fairway for his second shot here. Well, that ball nestled down just a bit in that heavy rough. Second shot from the rough. It's on the way. Well, this one should be safely on deck here. Chance for birdie after that beautiful shot. Right in the heart of the fairway. Green light special.
Rich, it's a different challenge today. The weather is so day-to-day out here, and when you get a breeze like this that's kicking up, you really have to sort of change your approach to playing these holes.
It looks nice out there, the blue skies, plenty of high sunshine, but it's a challenge because those winds have really freshened up. This requires a lot of speed through the ball. Settles in over the putt. Well, that's a bit disappointing.
I guarantee you, though, she thought she had that one.
Shouldn't be a problem here. Okay, has it, and stays at 1 over par. Just 5 feet left. That's a solid par putt. Just a little tap in here. Did the job right there. Up to the par 3 12th, and again, I've said this before, Frank, you do not want to miss it left.
all long. This green just juts out there at a 45-degree angle. Must fly it all the way through the air. That bunker might save you, gives you about another 5 or 10 yards, but you've referenced it long left, and you will be in trouble. You know, this is not heading in the right direction.
No, it looks like it's going to be in the rough.
Oh, that's off the beaten track. That's got 5 minutes to find it.
Frank, this one's not looking good.
Yeah, it's certainly not down the fairway line, heading toward the rough.
Pretty good result right there, considering...
It looked rough all the way,
Exactly.
Rich. It really did.
This one looks like it's headed right for the middle of the dance floor, Frank.
Rather nice shot, I would say. It's at sneaky distance.
Hard putt, soft hands, beautiful roll. One over for the day. Could use this, a putt for par. All right, hanging in. That's a par and 4 over. Now the 13th hole and all kinds of challenges here, Frank.
Yeah, another par 5. This one, some fun in front. Find the fairway, and of course that second shot across a little oasis up here in the mountains to a green that you would normally say is an island green. Excuse that, there are rocks and all sorts of things around, but that second shot, just to have a chance to reach this par 5 and 2 is one thing, but look at the danger that's around it. Waterfalls, water, it's a very, very severe price if you don't find this green with your approach shot.
This is one of the greatest par 5s in the world, isn't it?
God, without doubt, you'll never see another hole that looks like this one.
You can see a little bit off balance on the tee, and that one is going to be in the rough. Frank made this hole just a little bit harder hitting it into the rough.
I would say a lot harder.
Wow, way to the right here.
And there's rough over there.
Into the thick stuff, that's a difficult lie. Second shot coming out of the rough here. Set to go. Not an easy shot by any means.
Good recovery shot. Couldn't make the green, but at least he's back in play.
Played the smart shot right there. Second shot coming up here at the par 5. Oh, look out. This could be wet, Frank.
It's heading to...
That ball is lost in the water. Still going, and going the wrong way. This is the 5th shot after that previous one went into the drink.
Well, there's a big green, and they're going to use every inch of it.
That is a beauty, a real beauty. Frank, this one's offline.
There's rough and thick stuff over there.
Frank, better than we thought it was going to be.
Yeah, that looked like it was headed for that thick stuff the whole way, but a little fortunate. But then I guess you're allowed that in this game.
This for birdie. How did that stay out, Frank?
Did everything but go in.
And getting ready for the putt. So, 2 over par for the round. Eight-foot putt here. Beginning the long climb back, now to 3 over par. Chases that in for par to stay at 4 over. So back-to-back par 5s, 14, Frank. I've heard you describe holes before. Have a go at this one. I'm curious. Go ahead.
Well, I never thought I'd be talking about a par 5 that can stretch over 900 yards, but this is it. Fortunately, we're at altitude. Fortunately, this hole plays a little downhill. That's about it. The rest is all up to you, because it's going to take 3 absolutely beautiful shots to reach this par 5 into a sliver of the fairway all the way across the side of the mountain. And somehow, not only...
That's out of bounds, and it'll cost him a shot. Now on his 3rd shot after being penalized for going out of bounds.
Yeah, tough break, really, Rich, on that last shot. It just got away from him.
They'll be pretty happy with that 290-yard poke off the tee. Good lie in the fairway, but a good chance to make something happen here. Frank, you're in the business of analyzing golf shots.
I don't want to see that one again.
Oh, no, this one needs a break. This one looks like it's headed out of bounds. Just need to settle down, relax on this next shot after going out of bounds.
The amount of times somebody splits the fairway after hitting one out of bounds is astronomical.
Starting to stack up now in the wrong way. This is the 6th shot on this hole after going OB.
This is way offline. Well, Mr. Ball does not meet Mr. Fairway. It's off, rough. Off the flight path again. They're out of the rough. Expect the ball to jump forward a little bit.
Not very good at all right there.
No, I think it's time to sell the clubs, buy a tennis racket.
He needs a break right here. That one is headed OB. Look out. Well, this is always one of the toughest moments in any round. You've made a mistake, you hit it OB, you're disappointed, but you have to regroup, you have to focus, and try to get this next one in play. 8's too many.
In this situation.
How tough is this going to be now from the rough, Frank?
Oh, it's tough to say, Rich. I mean, so much is going to depend on that lie. I'm going to need a little bit of luck.
Well, once you hit double the par, it's time to just pick up and move on. This is the par 4 15th, and again, just a spectacular backdrop here, Frank.
Well, as the player's view there, you can just use the mountain with a little boulder on top, really. It's a great line. You can see the big rock crop on the right. That really protects the right side of the fairway. So the more you look at it, the more complicated it gets. So really you want to simplify it. Just straight down there at the tall rock crop. That's your line. Hit it far enough down there, you will have a full view of the green for your second shot. A little short, well, you might have to get a different line.
That is always so disappointing from that kind of a spot when you come up short.
Yeah, you're licking your chops over that one. A shot you think you could hit directly at the flag. Now, test for the short game. That's an absolute beauty.
Facing 100 yards. Into the tall cabbage. That ball is swallowed up. Well, this one should be safely on deck here. This one measures out to 24 feet. Well, that's a bit disappointing.
I guarantee you, though, she thought she had that one.
This requires a lot of speed through the ball. This one just requires a little bit of focus. Then a rocky round. 8 over for the day. Not going very well for her at this point. This is for bogey. So after all that, it's a bogey. Frank, it's just amazing what they were able to do to get the equipment up here into the Grand Canyon to sculpt this golf course. In fact, there's a hardcover book out about the making of this golf course. It is really fascinating.
It is. That's a good read. And obviously you can sort of peruse through that before you play the golf course, and you'll see that this is one of the many signature holes here on the layout. And I've never seen really this type of hole in golf, one that actually turns back on itself in the shape of a U or a question mark.
You know, what's great about this golf course, Frank, is that it marries history. You talked about, what, how many millions of years?
17 million years ago, the Colorado River started cutting its way through the canyon.
So 17 million years ago, but then you marry that with the modern technology that it took to get in here and dig this out, and then the creativity, the artistic element that's involved from the standpoint of the architects.
Oh, amazing design. And of course you get to see one of the the great wonders of the world, really, when you walk around here. The many hot air balloons that'll adorn the area, providing the spectators. But it's a good tee shot uphill, and then turn back on yourself and hit it across.
Paying attention like a little kid at school, Frank. That baby's sitting up.
Sitting up. It's got the best view as well. You don't even need binoculars from where that ball is.
Well, he's going to have to hit the same club a lot harder or just hit another one. Playing this par 4, still not on the green after that second shot.
That's still not done. A good third shot, maybe get away here with par.
He's facing 100 yards here.
Well, from in trouble, Rich, at least he's back in play.
Yeah, on the fairway from the rough. Second shot. Good look at the green. That one is well off target. .120 yards left for this, the third shot.
This is not heading in the right direction.
No, it looks like it's going to be in the rough.
Well, that's a little absurd, that, Rich. That shot wasn't that hard, but it's come up well short.
Didn't appear committed through impact. Slight waggle, relaxed arms, ready to go. That's a bit offline in the rough. Second shot coming out of the rough here. That one's not even close. That is way to the right. That is tasty looking right there, Frank. Just a perfect spot in the fairway.
That is prime real estate. How do you get a lie like that? Seriously, you could hit any club from there.
Seems to like it. Headed for the fat part of the green. That is another laser right at the flagstick. Set to go. Not an easy shot by any means. Getting set now over the putt. Well, you almost lose count at this point. Safe to say, not under par. In fact, well over par. These putts keep the round together. In for a bogey. Doing what needs to be done. You need to make them from that distance. Just 2 holes left. The 17th is a par 4. Frank, looks like a bowling alley, not a golf course.
Yeah, it is, but you could easily get a strike down here, that's for sure, because you'll knock over more than pins. Anything left or right is going to hit one of those mountains on either side, but hopefully will bounce all the way back to the fairway. So it might play a little wider than what first your eye sees. Second shot's going to play slightly uphill again to a green that pitches slightly back towards you, plus 2 different tiers.
That one ends up in the rough.
That went sideways.
Second shot from the rough. It's on the way.
Whoop, this is taken off on a weird line.
And it's going to be in the rough, it looks like. Frank, not close, but from that lie, not bad.
No, that's excellent. Seriously, given the conditions, Rich.
Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
This is a good-looking shot. Flagstick 125 yards away. Well, that's why on this golf course, Frank, there is a premium on hitting fairways.
You're exactly right. Might be also protecting against a fly, but that did anything other than fly.
Settles in over the putt. Ooh, so close. Came to the putt, excited to make birdie. Now, settle for par.
Yeah, little change in the attitude right now. When you've let one go, you've got to really knuckle down there and make sure you don't drop a shot. It's important this one goes in.
Everything has gone wrong today. Just continues to be ugly. Birdie chance for Pops Masterson. Oh, yeah, he's made it for a birdie. Nine over for the day. Frank, you like a par 3 finishing hole?
Every now and again. This certainly suits this golf course. You flash it from up in the air there. Those two bunkers, the one short and behind, actually protect you if you miss club off the tee, especially coming from that much elevation. Once again in trouble there should you miss that. Colorado River, as we've seen, cutting through this wonderful golf course, very much apparent here. But, well, you never know. One good tee shot in the middle of this green, finish with a 2 here would be an amazing finish to what's been a great day.
Not terrible, but not his best.
Yeah, outside chance, really, for birdie, but really, it was a rather poor approach shot.
That one is bunker bound, it looks like. Well, the tee shot has landed in the bunker. Oh, look out, Frank. Where's this one headed?
This is definitely rough, Rich, off the tee.
Now from the bunker.
Yeah, just a little splash out on this par 3.
This is a pretty long putt here. You'd be happy to get this to within 2 or 3 feet. You really want to take the stress out of that next putt. That is an excellent lag putt right there. Had the speed perfectly.
Remember, out of the rough. Expect the ball to jump forward a little bit.
Frank, he'll have to take a full swing at this putt for birdie.
This is long, but every now and again, one of these finds the bottom of the cup and makes that magic sound.
Ooh, almost fell. Just a few inches from dropping.
Sometimes the game just isn't fair.
Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus. Been a rocky round. Just a tap in to finish the hole. Did the job right there. how you maintain momentum. You make those putts for par. Frank, you don't get it every day. The game is just too hard.
No, you've got to play with it though. The swings, the turns, you're on a roundabout, and every now and again, things just come out your way.